Sometime later today. Winds have come down to about 100 miles per hour, but that's still going to pack a decent punch as this storm continues to move off towards the northeast. Thankfully, it is moving now. It's not moving quite as slowly as it was, but we still expect there could be some hurricane impacts even to the island of Bermuda as this continues into the North Atlantic. For us here at home, we're not really going to see a ton of big impacts from that, and certainly not here in Northeast Ohio. But I will say we're going to have our own bout of rain and wind that's going to be moving through tomorrow, and that is why we have that 19 first alert weather day in place. Widespread rain, some of it's going to be pretty heavy at times, and again, if you have some of those storm drains near your house that have maybe gotten a little clogged with some of those leaves, I highly suggest clearing those out today before this rain starts to settle in, because when you're talking a quick inch and a half of rain over a relatively short amount of time, you can have some low water issues as we get through this system. And it's also going to be bringing with it a lot of rain or a lot of wind as well. Winds gusting 35-40 miles per hour will be possible. So this is going to have a lot of impacts for us as we go through the day tomorrow. Right now, deep blue skies still taking hold over most of Northeast Ohio. Temperatures have been able to warm through the morning into the low to mid 50s. So that's where we're beginning the afternoon. But if you look just to the south, clouds are starting to increase. So is that rain chance. And that's what we're going to be watching as we go through the course of today. Likely our southern counties getting in on some of these showers as early as this afternoon, northern zones later tonight. And that's the start of this next system, which will bring us a decent bit of rainfall. I'll walk you through all the new data. Plus, we'll take a little bit of a look at what we can expect for Halloween trick-or-treating coming up here in just a few minutes.
I've been first alerting you about this, and now that rain is moving in just a few hours, and really the bottom kind of falls out heading into the weekend, it seems like.
Yeah, this is going to be a very autumn-like pattern as we kind of get through the next couple of days. I mean, you've got the wind, you've got the rain. When you think of fall in Northeast Ohio, this is probably what a lot of us kind of revert to, especially the later we get into October and early November. So this is going to be one of those impact-based alert days where you're going to have widespread rain across the area as we get through your Thursday. But then on top of it, you're also going to have a lot of wind moving through the region. And right now, this system is actually sitting just to our south. So a lot of Northeast Ohio is beginning the morning and really the afternoon hours on a beautiful note. We had a lot of sunshine out there, but if you're in our southern counties, you've started to see that cloud cover increasing, and eventually that will bring us a better opportunity for some rain. I don't necessarily think within the next, say, hour or two, you're going to be necessarily dealing with widespread showers, but we could certainly have a couple hit or miss ones as we get through the early part of this afternoon. This is 4 o'clock on your future view. You'll still see a lot of us staying quiet, but that cloud cover is starting to build, especially if you're up near the lakeshore, and that's this next system starting to roll in. With it will come some wind. It's going to be breezy as we go through the day today. But really, when you're talking about the rain impacts for this evening, that's going to build in likely after about 5 o'clock south to eventually north across the region. And once it starts, it's going to be really hard to catch a lot of those breaks, not only through tonight, but likely even into early on your Thursday. So as you're stepping out, maybe you've got appointments, taking the kids to school, whatever the case may be, make sure the rain gear is with you. On top of this, look at where your temperatures are. Most of us are going to be staying into the middle to upper 40s. Then you're going to add the wind on top of it. It's going to create that wind chill effect. So it's probably going to feel more so like we're sitting about low to mid 40s at best during the day tomorrow. By about midday, there has been some consistency with this that we may get a little drier air that starts to work in. That's important because it'll help to eat away, at least in some of these rain chances as we go through tomorrow afternoon. But we're not done with that system just yet. It's still working its way off towards the northeast, so you've got a lot of moisture that'll fill in on the back side of it. And yes, it's going to keep that rain chance going for you, likely into Thursday evening and possibly into the overnight as well. Now, you get closer to Friday. Friday's Halloween. Lots of folks watching this forecast very closely. You look at Friday morning and you think, oh, maybe we are actually going to be done with some of these rain chances across the region. Here's the thing. There's some moisture that we're going to be building in, but it's going to take some time to work its way into Northeast Ohio. So while it may be a drier start to the day, you're still going to be dealing with the wind. Winds at times gusting upwards of 40 miles per hour. But then you're going to start to source some of that moisture from Lake Michigan as we get into the later part of the afternoon. You'll notice 4 o'clock on your future view. all of a sudden starting to generate some of those lake effect showers. That's going to be some wind-driven rain, likely combined to our northern zones, but it is something to watch as we get a little bit closer to some of those trick-or-treat plans for your Friday evening. So I don't want to guarantee it's going to be dry because I don't think it necessarily will be. And that's likely going to be a similar story that we talk about through the rest of this weekend, where you still have a few of those lake effect showers around. Temperatures are still staying a little cooler as well. At best, daytime highs, upper 40s, about lower 50s, and then we'll start to enter into potentially a quieter weather pattern as we get into the early part of this next week.